Hey guys, this is 2 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Legends. In the last part, we escaped from Valua, and in this part, we have obtained the ship, the Delphinus, as you can see there down at the bottom, and we're going to take a tour of it today. I'm going to show you around the ship because it is fairly big, a little bit bigger than the Little Jack. First thing I need to say, though, is when I first recorded this, I exported the audio and it didn't seem to work right, so it had me worried that I had to post-commentate this, and indeed that is happening. So this is all post-commentary. Here we have Gilder. Says, "Hey Vice, I don't know where it's coming from, but okay, yeah, you can see read the text. I can't keep up with how I did it for certain the first time. I mean, I could, but it'd be too hard." Anyway, there's a couple things we want to do in this first room. Namely, when I first check this panel here, you can see it's moving. And if we open it, surprise, Marco! So he's going to talk to Vice here. We're going to ask him what the heck he's just doing on this ship. He said that he heard the prince was going to be leaving on it, basically, when he wanted to try and escape Valua on it, and he figured that he heard the prince was at least nice, so he thought he would kill him immediately. But apparently we stole it, and he is now escaped Valua with us instead. So he's decided he wants to travel with us, and we pretty much don't have a choice in the matter, so he's going to be the first member of our crew. We are taking Gilder's advice and collecting a crew now. Marco has joined our crew as a sailor, and here I'll show you in just a minute that Marco... Oh, no. I hit the ship. You have to go next page, change crew, and here you can see Marco. There's plenty of slots there for different types of crew members. The leftmost column will be your... the position they're doing. Then you have the active and standby. You'll get 2 different people for each different job. One person will be your active, which will be obviously the one you have basically equipped, like equipment for the ship. And standby will be someone you have just, you know, not doing anything. They aren't going to be affecting your ship's ability, stats, or whatever. Now Marco, he is what I like to call the first kind, is the crew command. He will double all your spirit points for 1 turn. There are 4 types of different crew members. I'll be getting them as we get to them. I'll be getting a few of them later, but this one is basically a command type, or he is a command type crew member. Meaning you can find an option in the menu during ship battles and he will do something. There are other ones, like I said, that I'll get to later, but in the meantime, that's all you really need to know. You can see he does not affect our ship's stats in any way, shape, or form. Below him, you can see what he will actually do, or stat-wise, and then the description saying what he is. If I don't know what I'm doing there, kind of going all over the menu. Anyway, now we want to do is we want to run to the other side and open up this panel, where we will get a moonberry, which makes us have, well, now we have 4, and with 4 moonberries, we can indeed learn Vice's final move. And what is this move? Vice unleashes the Wrath of the Air Pirates on a single enemy for devastating damage. This move is known as Pirate's Wrath. Probably the best special move in the game. It is very highly damaging. It's a little expensive right now. You will have to charge up for it for a few turns, but nonetheless it's effective. Here what I'm trying to do is check out all the consoles here. Vice here's talking about all the gauges by the helm, not the actual talking tube you can see there. I thought there'd be stuff that he would say about all of them, but he's pretty much just saying they spared no expense in building this thing. I'm trying to read what that says on there. I was kind of hoping I could make a ludicrous speed joke with that. Up here we have the captain's chair, but Vice says he's not going to sit in it because he'd rather be at the helm. Fair enough, kind of suits Vice, although I wouldn't mind sitting in that chair. Anyway, now we can go check out the rest of it. And the first thing we're going to be seeing is the crow's nest. Down there you have the galley and the deck, but those we'll be getting to in a minute. Or a few minutes, rather. This is probably the 2nd tallest ladder in the entire game, unfortunately, so we'll just climb way up high there, and eventually we'll get to the top. eventually. There we go. And here we have Enrique. And yeah, he's saying all we need now is a competent lookout. All of our party members pretty much have very little to say. Here's a talking tube. This is what I was trying to get. He's mentioning the albatross, and if we talk to it, Gilder says he wants to see us on the bridge. One thing I'm going to bring up here while I, whoops. Oh yeah, I thought there would be an item over here. These are just emergency supply boxes all over the ship. They serve no purpose whatsoever. Anyway, one thing I would like to bring up here is, at this point in the game, you know, we got into that shipwreck from Arachna with Drachma, and Drachma went down with a ship. The game just drops that like a rock and completely forgets about Drachma from here on out. Well, I shouldn't say from here on out. It does eventually later touch on that, but not for a long, long time. Like, I think it waits a whole... yeah, a whole area at least. We get a whole moon crystal before it even gets to the area, the next area, and then that area doesn't even... once we get there, it doesn't even bring up Drachma until even the end of that. Like, they literally... This main character dies, and the game completely ignores him. Anyway, right here you have the deck, and there you can see Marco standing around cleaning, saying he's going to make the deck so clean you'll be able to eat off of it. You also have Fina over there, but shouldn't really say a whole lot that's important. That talking tube you talked about, you get the same thing as before up top. And yeah, like I said, nothing really important. But yeah, I just don't get it. How did these people just shipwreck Drachma? He killed himself, essentially. Went down with his ship, and they don't even make mention of it. It kind of breaks the immersion for me a little bit, just because the game... I mean, even if a sailor goes by the code, you know, captain always goes down with his ship and all that. The character died. You'd think they'd make mention of it, because saying how amazing this place is because of the kitchen. And I have to admit, this is the fanciest room in the whole ship, and I like it too. It's pretty nice looking. But nonetheless, still just a kitchen, an unimportant room. Anyway, that's pretty much it for around the ship. Like I said, it's a good size, bit bigger than the Little Jack was, but it's not amazingly massive or doesn't have anything particularly special about it. But nonetheless, anyway, now that we're done, we can talk to Gilder, and he's going to ask us if we've seen everything we want to yet. We've seen pretty much the entire ship, so I'm going to go ahead and move on here. And he is going to tell us that he's leaving. Sad face. Yes, unfortunately, Gilder is very temporary. Of all the fourth party members in the game, he is the one that you spend the least amount of time with. Which kind of sucks. But, Vice is poking jokes at him for being a good couple with Clara there. But yeah, I mean, I really do wish you had more time with Gilder. He is probably my favorite of the fourth party members. Drachma, him, and the next one we're going to get. There are only 3 in the game, obviously, since, as you can see on the equip screen, there's squares for every character, and there's only room for about 1 more there, pretty much, unless you start, like, moving them together. But they don't. So, yeah, there are Vice, Aka, and Fina. Those are your 3 main party members, and then there's a 4th party member that changes kind of frequently throughout the game. Although the next 4th party member we're going to get is he's going to last with us for a long time, and if you can probably take a guess at who it's going to be, but we'll find out here in just a few minutes. But yeah, this is pretty much the second to last time we'll be switching in the game, until the end game where we can actually do a little something with the 4th party members. But that said, that's a long ways off, and it's not something that's really important for now, so I'm not going to touch on it any further. Anyway, he's going on here saying how Vice will be a great captain because he's already accomplished so much because of how young he is still. I mean, he's accomplished more than some air parts have done in their entire life. Actually, you know what? I think earlier I spoiled something, technically. I mentioned how he said, yeah, he's giving us the advice now. Whoops. Well, sorry. Oh well. So what? Anyway, he wants us to sail around the world, get a good crew, etc., etc. We're going to be spending the next few parts gathering up all this, doing all these optional things, such as optional boss fights, a wanted battle being one of them. Actually, no, we have one more wanted battle I still haven't done yet. I need to. I actually forgot to do this one in the videos I had already recorded up to part 60, this being part 57. So yeah, 2 parts we get pretty much everything done. But I'll go record that, I guess, next time I go to part 61. And then after that, that's pretty much storyline related stuff again, so it'll be pretty easy to do all that. And there. He's leaving. Clear! Oh boy. So, yeah. We'll also, as Gilder's host told us to, need to find a home base, but we'll be getting to that in the next part also. He tells us Crescent Isle would be pretty good. We'll be getting a few more party members once that's completed, but we won't be seeing that for a long time. You'll also be getting to see more of what I meant about certain other characters prior in the game, because a lot of the early characters that came off as really important, a lot of them actually become crew members for your ship. Or some of the more ones that stood out more among other characters. Less bland characters, I should say. Such as, well, no, I won't spoil it. Well, yeah, well, Marco's actually a good example, and I can, because we already have him. But, he was pretty prominent during Valua, and, yeah. Enrique here is telling us the Delphinus is not complete, the hull isn't fully reinforced yet, so we probably can't go through Stone Reefs, which means we can't go through Stone Reefs. And the engine's outputs haven't been calibrated properly, so we cannot power through Sky Rifts yet. So the ship is actually, at the moment, not as good as the Little Jack for getting around, but that really doesn't matter at the moment. And once we get it fixed up, it'll be just as good as the Little Jack. And here I'm just saying that there's a lot of stuff we gotta do all around here. Once you can get the ability to go through Sky Rifts with this thing, it's really easy to just go all around. We got some stuff to do in Horteca, we've got some stuff to do down in Pirate Isle. We want to head up to Nasrad, Sailor's Island, all of that. We start taking care of all the optional stuff now, but we really don't get into the meat of it until the next part, because we obviously spent half of this episode exploring the ship and in cutscenes. Anyway, also, if you know, we can finally go into the Sailors Guild here, which is what I'm going to be doing first, and finally sell a bunch of the discovery information we got from Valua and the Nasrad section of the game. You could have sold it during the Nasrad section, but it doesn't really affect it. We also get the 4,000 gold for beating Gordo the Round. Remember him, we fought him just before Valua. So there I'm selling all the discoveries, like I said. I'm checking it out, and here you can see there's another one, Loose Cannon Lapin. He is the optional boss, or the Wannabout we'll be taking on next, and we can go fight the XNS demons now. So that's the other Wannabout we'll be doing that I have yet to do yet, as of recording this post-commentary. So we also get another spot, or black spot, so we can go take on Piastel again. That's not what we'll be doing this episode. We'll be getting to that in part 60, I think. Yeah, here we have Lawrence. We're asking him to join our ship's crew, and the only way to get him to join your crew is to pay him 10,000 gold. You cannot lower that at all, you just gotta do it, but we have plenty by now. He has some funny lines later in the game, too, but he's also a pretty good helmsman. That's what he joins our crew as. Now, what Lawrence does, I hit the wrong one there. What Lawrence does, he will increase our ship's quick. So, yeah, not particularly great, but, you know, he's the only one we got for now. Anyway, I'm heading over here to sell some of the items I want to get rid of, and buy some, restock on some other ones like, what I'm thinking of, Apo Waxes, which we'll get in a minute here. I'm also showing off some of the newer items you can get. You can see you can buy, obviously, up to Saccharin crystals now, which are cheaper than Saccharum crystals, but they fully restore you. It's probably a better idea to keep mostly Saccharum crystals around, but Saccharin can be good for some basic healing, so we do get a few here just to kind of even us out to 5. Healing salves, well, I think I've already said they'll give you regeneration, much like Lunar Blessing, but Lunar Blessing is free and it's fairly easy to get off. In the battles, it matters. I bought a few magic dews to get some, restore some MP. There you can see you can buy Choms for 3,000 gold. I also got some Curia crystals, and I'm going to restock on some Rising crystals here. I buy some Glyphs of Might too. Glyphs of Might, blah, enough to basically bring us up to about 20. Glyph of Speeds, they're okay. They increase the quick of your entire party, but it's not necessarily hugely important. And here I'm buying a Chom to bring us up to 3, because I used one earlier in the game. Now we'll head on over. I believe next we head on over to the ship parts shop. There's nothing in there you want to buy, actually. We're mostly coming here just to sell and stock up on a few things. If you want to buy some ship parts or stock up on other things too, you can do that better. Or there are better ones at the Nasrad ship store. I'll be showing where that is in just a few, or in the next part, I believe. We'll be heading there to take care of some stuff. We're going to be selling off some of our excess junk here. All these cannons and torpedoes you can equip to the Delphinus. They're meant for smaller ships, but so go ahead and actually sell those. I was wrong. I thought you could equip those to the Delphinus, but you can't. But all the stuff that you can put on the Delphinus is, like I said, at the Nasrad shop. For now, we're stuck with a bunch of prototype cannons. And here I am trying to see if we can equip other things. So I opted to sell them at this point. There's also a bunch of other armor and weapons that we can sell, but for now, just sell any excess gear that you don't need. Make sure to keep at least one mace hand. Just trust me on that. You want to keep at least one mace hand. Here we're kind of messing around with our equipments. I have 2 mace hands still, somehow. So I sell one. Excuse me, my voice my throat's kind of dry here. And there we go, we finally finished up that. I'm gonna be... Now what we can do is we can equip Enrique with a few things. His armor, much like Gilder's was originally, is pretty much better than anything else we have at this point for him, so unless you want to de-equip Vice or something, but otherwise Enrique's perfectly fine for now. Messing around with accessories here also. Vice is the only one who can equip the black map, the captain's hat, even though he's only just now technically a captain. Excuse me for a second here. My voice is kind of dying on me here. I got a small glass of water I have from last night. I guess I'll take a drink. There we go, that helps. And there is the overly ecstatic sailor that I have to talk to for Brian, because he loves him. He is just absolutely insane. In here we have another person we can recruit, Pinta! He says we finally have our very own ship, so he's going to join our crew as a delegate. Pinta, as a delegate, will use the crew command to protect our ship from enemy campfire for full turn. Another command type crew member. This guy with the impressive bear trap jaw has pretty much nothing for us. at the moment. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could use some of this stuff. I mean, those moon dust rings give you some will. But I mean, magic is pretty useless in this game unless you're looking for a somewhat cheap way to deal damage on everything. But yeah, you're really just better off physically attacking. Although maybe with Fina you could validate using that because she has so much MP, and her will stat, I believe, is the magic modifying stat, or what determines how strong it'll be, is pretty high compared. She is, as I've always said, the mage of the game. So you could try kind of being magically offensive with her, although every other person I've ever seen it, you know, playing this game, which is not very many, sadly, or anyone talking about playing with it, pretty much strictly sticks to physical attacks, unfortunately. That's one thing I really don't like about Skies of Arcadia, is the fact that its magic is not that useful. And okay, here we go again, sorry about that. I apparently got called away for something or whatever during that little bit, so I decided to cut that out, and I just stayed silent for the meantime so I could just cut that away. Well, I started being silent after I eventually decided I was pretty much doing nothing. I'm checking around here for some stuff. You can actually go into that Polly's bar over there and also get her to join your crew, but I forget to go back for her, so oh well. Next, what we're going to be doing is heading on up to Doc's ship and turning in a bunch of moonfish. We're going to be getting a lot of amazing items during this, so be sure to do this.
Hi.
And we're also going to learn more about Ramirez, hopefully, from doing this. So we're going to go ahead and feed the first one. It does its little growing thing, and the first item that we get from this birdie bird is in a hairball as usual, which makes no sense. But the first thing we get is the female armor, which you've already seen. Not very good at this point, so you can go ahead and sell that. Alright, and the next thing we get is the white map, which allows you to basically reduce the encounter rate. It's the opposite of the black map. I don't know where you can get white maps, so never sell this thing. You can get more black maps, but yeah. And the next item we get is 30 Ramahi fish and 30 Karol. Just fish you can go ahead and sell. There's nothing particularly important about it. I do have to wonder, how did that thing fit 60 fish inside of itself? Uh-oh, it appears that he's going through a little bit different transformation this time. And he got fatter. So different. Anyway, because this is one of his big transformations, we're going to get a very special item. Probably not as special as the last one we got, which was a Aura of Valor, I believe. But this time we get a Warrior's Heart, a very important equip item. What this does is it allows the character who's wearing it to generate even more spirit than usual. He gets a new little clicky-click audio there, too. So I'm just going to keep this one in here because I can talk all the way through. But that's actually a good item, accessory to give to Enrique at this point, because he's going to be generating the least spirit, and that'll kind of make up for it, and we'll also obviously gain more spirit as the game goes on. Here we get the Ancient Bracer, just a piece of armor. I forget exactly what it does. Maybe it's an accessory, I forget. I don't remember exactly what it does. You'll see me do my equips later. I guess I'm keeping it this one too because I'm talking through most of it. So how is everyone today? I thought I'd mix it up here a little bit and see how everyone's doing. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Here we get the Magilix Idol, something for a side quest that is no longer in this version of the game. Here we'll be learning a bit more about Ramirez, though. That was the final moonfish we have.
Whoa!
Originally in the game, that Magilix Idol was part of a side quest for Pinta. He was looking for a bunch of statues, but it got removed, and that is a massive crawl on the thing's head. Anyway, So, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and I'm Irish. Yesterday I made sure to wear green, because technically the pinching thing is only supposed to apply if you're Irish. So yeah, there's something you guys probably didn't know. The pinching thing is only applies to the Irish people, and Doc's got his Irish pride on with those green shoes and shirt. But, so yeah, we also had a traditional Irish meal for dinner. It was this potato, carrot, cabbage thing with a, oh, what's it called? What was that meat we had? Corned beef or whatever? I don't know. It was like corned beef or something. I don't know. Something I've never had before, quite honestly, and I tried it. It wasn't bad. I mean, I've certainly had meals that were better, but it was by far not the worst thing I've ever tasted. Thought I considered being funny and walking around wearing a "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" hat all day, but nah, I didn't. I always like to joke around saying, because my eyes are hazel too, that you can't pinch me because I have hazel eyes. They're green. But yeah, I've also been pretty good. College is going along pretty nicely. Got to finish up some homework. Probably after this, I was going to just edit this together and continue playing Pokemon, but at this point now I think I should probably do some homework, considering it's almost lunchtime here in sunny old California, where it has been getting pretty darn warm. It's been 80 or so the last couple days. It's 46 right now, but well, that's according to my computer. Maybe, let's see, am I reading the right place? It's reading the right place. Huh. Well, there you go. Apparently it's in the 40s, almost 50s right now, but nonetheless, it's been getting warmer. It's surprisingly cool for today, actually. I'm kind of surprised it's that cool. So how's everyone else been doing, though? I would like to hear how everyone's doing. If you guys have any questions for me about any of the games I play, maybe we could play some online matches. I do have Pokemon Battle Revolution. A lot of you probably saw from the video I uploaded a couple weeks ago, me finding a friend of mine in a Pokemon match. I'm an okay at a battler. I also have Pokemon Black, White 2. Technically, I have almost every single Fortune game. The only one I'm missing is Soul Silver. But for some reason, my AT&T wireless router... What is that black thing up in the corner? I wonder if you guys can see that in the final recording, but there's this, like, black bar thing up at the top left corner. That's weird looking. Anyway, my AT&T router for some reason hates 4th generation, so I cannot access the GTS for my 4th gen games. Anyway, that's pretty much it for our Moonfish there, so I tried talking to him to make sure that was all we had to give, but now I'll just be playing around with my equip, so you can see that for yourself. I don't have to talk about that necessarily. Just copy what I have and you'll be good. One thing also you might want to do is grind a little bit for a few moonberries. I think you need probably 3 to learn Enrique's next 2 super moves. They are going to be very useful, especially his second one. Essentially, every 4th party member or every party member in the game has some sort of, except for Fina actually, has some sort of preventative move. Vice has protects and counters for his. Aka protects against magic. Gilder can protect against status ailments. Drachma and Fina are actually the only ones in the game that don't have one that does something. Drachma charges up, obviously, as you saw me do, and Fina heals pretty much with everything, except for her one, which will sometimes stone enemies and does minimal damage. I forgot what I was talking about. I got off track because of that. Well, nonetheless, I seriously cannot think of what to say here, because we're getting really close to the end of the episode here. We've probably got about another, I'd say, 15 seconds left in the episode here. So I guess I'll just go ahead and end it off here, guys. This has been SS2 post-commentating, part 57 of Let's Play Skies of Arcadia Legends. I hope everyone enjoyed my joke yesterday I made with the Kamehameha with the Moonstone Cannon. I will not be doing that for the rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.